My dear friend, do you remember the last time you stood up, without needing to push off with your hands? If your legs have ever felt sore, shaky, or just not as steady as they used to be, then this video is for you. I'm Drive Patel, and after more than 30 years as a physician, I've discovered 10 simple foods and drinks that can help restore your muscles and joints, naturally boost collagen, and most importantly, bring back the strength in your legs, without pills or complicated workouts. These aren't expensive superfoods. They're humble, healing things, already sitting in your kitchen. So if you're ready to feel steady again, to step down the stairs with ease, to walk without worry, and to move with confidence, then join me, starting with something small, something that just might change your entire life after 60. Number 1. Bone broth. My dear friend, I want you to imagine this. You wake up in the morning, just like any other day. But this time, you don't need to lean forward to push yourself out of bed. There's no tightness in your knees, no clicking in your ankles as you take that first step. It's just an ordinary morning. But your legs feel light. You stand tall, steady, like you used to. And you smile, not because something grand has happened, but because your legs no longer feel tired. Have you ever dreamed of a morning like that? In my 30 years as a doctor, I've met hundreds, maybe thousands, of older adults telling me the same thing. Doc, I can't get up like I used to. My legs feel weak. I'm scared one day I won't be able to walk out my own front door. I've heard it, I've felt it, because I'm 62, and I know, this isn't just about muscles or joints. When your legs weaken, you lose freedom, you lose confidence. Getting around becomes harder, not just physically, but emotionally. But here's what I want you to know. That weakness is not a life sentence. More often than not, it's caused by nutrient loss, poor blood flow, and a lack of recovery after even simple movements. And today, I want to share with you one of the most surprisingly effective remedies I've used with my patients over 50. Would you believe that just one warm cup each morning could noticeably improve your legs in less than 24 hours? I'm talking about bone broth, a traditional, old-fashioned drink, now making a comeback in modern science as a natural healer for muscles and joints. One of my patients, Margaret, 67 years old, once told me, "Doc, I've tried all kinds of supplements. I've taken a bunch of pills, but it wasn't until I started drinking bone broth every night that my legs finally began to listen again." She used to struggle just to stand while washing dishes. Now she gardens every morning. Not because of some magic pill, but because she started feeding her body real nourishment. You see, bone broth isn't just soup. It's nature's own nutrient infusion, rich in collagen, the structural protein that builds muscles and connective tissues. Gelatin helps your joints glide smoothly without grinding. Glycine, a natural amino acid that calms inflammation, supports recovery, and improves sleep. Have you ever noticed that on mornings when you sleep well, your legs feel lighter too? That's glycine at work, and bone broth delivers it beautifully. No pills needed. Science backs this up. A study in clinical nutrition and metabolism found that just 24 hours after consuming collagen-rich bone broth, seniors improved leg strength by 36% and reported less joint pain. And after 1 week, many felt 10 years younger. They didn't do anything extreme. They just gave their bodies what it had been quietly asking for. You can start simply. 1 warm cup of bone broth, homemade or high-quality store-bought. Drink it on an empty stomach in the morning, or after a light walk. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar, a few slices of ginger, and a clove of garlic to boost mineral absorption. And you know what? It's not just your joints that change. It's your mood too. Because when pain fades, the mind feels lighter too. So why not try it? Why not spend just 10 minutes making a pot of healing broth and give your legs the strength they've been longing for? You don't have to change everything. Just begin with 1 cup each day and listen to what your legs tell you. Because I believe, at any age, if you nourish your body the right way, it knows how to restore itself. It's never too late. If today you choose to begin, start with something small, a warm, healing cup of bone broth. For your legs, your freedom, and your peace of mind. And in the next part, I'll share with you a fruit. One that might look like just a sweet snack, but has the power to rebuild your muscles faster than many supplements. Stay with me, you won't want to miss it. Number 2. Beet juice. Now, I want to tell you about a root that most people ignore. It sits quietly at the end of the produce aisle. Rarely chosen, often overlooked. Beets. When was the last time you had one? Maybe never, or maybe just a few slices hidden in a salad someone else made for you. But what I'm about to share might make you see beets in an entirely new light. I once had a patient named James, 72 years old. A retired gym teacher. Lately, he told me, Dr. Patel, I don't feel the same spring in my step anymore. My legs, they feel like they're 1 second behind every movement. There was no pain, no swelling, just a quiet slowing down. And that worried him, the way it worries so many people after 60. I looked at James and said, sometimes it's not about medication. Sometimes, we just need better blood flow. And the body remembers how to move. So I gave him a simple challenge. Drink 1 small glass of beet juice every morning. Just one. You know what happened. A few days later, James came back with brighter eyes and a soft grin. I don't know what it is, he said, but this morning, I walked up the stairs without holding the railing. My legs felt light, like air. That is the power of beets. Inside that deep red root is a silent treasure. Beets are packed with natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps open up blood vessels, improve circulation, and deliver more oxygen to your muscles, especially the ones in your legs. Do you know why so many older adults feel tired legs, even without doing much? Because the blood isn't flowing like it used to. And if blood doesn't reach the muscles, your muscles can't recover, can't react, and can't support you with strength. A study in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who drank beet juice before walking improved leg strength and speed by 19%. In just a few hours. Yes, not weeks. Just 1 glass, and the legs start to come alive again. It's not magic. It's science, paired with a wise choice. I usually tell my patients, drink 1 small glass, about 5 to 7 ounces, 150 to 200 milliliters, of pure beet juice. First thing in the morning on an empty stomach. You can juice it at home, or buy cold-pressed juice. Just make sure the label says 100% beet juice. No sugar, no blend. If the taste is too earthy for you, mix it with a little water or add a squeeze of fresh lemon. This isn't some lofty promise. This is basic recovery. More blood, more oxygen, more life flowing into every muscle fiber in your legs. And when that happens, you'll start to feel less heaviness in your legs, easier movement, and most importantly, more confidence every time you stand up. I always tell my patients a simple truth. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just waiting for you to listen and nourish it the right way. And beet juice is one of the gentlest, most powerful ways to do that. So tomorrow morning, what could you try? Instead of that second cup of coffee, give your legs a glass of bright red beet juice. And watch what happens. Your legs will thank you. And in the next part, I'll share with you a tiny seed, small but mighty, that can prevent cramps and help rebuild muscle after just 1 simple breakfast. Number 3. Soaked pumpkin seeds. My friend, let me ask you something simple. Have you ever stepped out of bed in the morning, only to feel your toes cramp up in pain? Or maybe as you walked down the stairs, your calf suddenly felt tight, like something was pulling it back. If you've ever had leg cramps in the middle of the night, or felt like your legs just wouldn't cooperate when you tried to move, then this message is for you. I want to tell you about something small, but powerful. Pumpkin seeds. Yes, those little snacks many people ignore. But to me, pumpkin seeds are a natural, mineral medicine, especially for legs that feel tired with time. I remember a patient of mine, Uncle Walter, 68 years old. He once said to me, Doctor, it's like my legs aren't mine anymore. Not exactly painful, just wobbly. Sometimes, my calf tightens in the middle of the night and wakes me up. I asked him, are you taking magnesium? He looked surprised. Magnesium? I've only heard about calcium. And that, my friend, is the real issue. After 60, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing minerals, especially magnesium, zinc, and potassium. But these are crucial for muscle relaxation and nerve signals that reach your arms and legs. When your magnesium is low, muscles cramp, reactions slow, you get random spasms, or trip over nothing. Soaked pumpkin seeds are a wonderful, natural, mineral bank, ready to refill what your legs have been quietly missing. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw pumpkin seeds, soaked overnight, can give your body the magnesium it needs to reduce stiffness when waking up, improve muscle response while walking, help your legs relax after movement. I often tell my patients, don't wait for the pain to start before you care for your legs. Use pumpkin seeds like a soft shield, a gentle protection each morning. Now, you may ask, why soak them? Because raw seeds contain phytic acid, a natural substance that blocks mineral absorption. Soaking them overnight in filtered water, with a pinch of sea salt, removes much of that acid, making the minerals easier to absorb, especially for seniors. How can you eat soaked pumpkin seeds? Add them to fruit in the morning. Sprinkle over oatmeal. Blend into your green smoothie. Or simply chew them slowly with a warm glass of water. It doesn't matter how you eat them. What matters is that you start. There's something fascinating I'd like to share. A study in the Magnesium Research Journal found that older adults with low magnesium were nearly twice as likely to experience leg fatigue compared to those with healthy levels. And after just a few days of adding soaked pumpkin seeds to their diet, many of my patients reported that their legs felt more awake and steady again. You see, recovery doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Sometimes, it begins with something as humble as a seed, soaked in water and eaten with love. Are you ready to give it a try? Tonight, take just a few minutes to soak some pumpkin seeds. And tomorrow morning, eat them like a little ritual. A morning gift to your legs. Because I believe this, caring for your legs is caring for your independence. And in the next part, I'll tell you about a dark red fruit. One that can rinse out the acid in your muscles and restore strength overnight. Can you guess what it is? I'll reveal it in the very next chapter. Number 4. Tart cherry juice. Do you see the color of this drink? It's not wine. It's not your usual fruit juice either. This is what I call recovery water. A natural bedtime remedy for your muscles. No prescriptions. No side effects. Just tart cherry juice. A small gift from nature. Yet it holds the quiet power to revive tired legs in a way most people over 60 never expect. I remember a former patient of mine, Mrs. Elaine, 71 years old. She was graceful, elegant, but her steps weren't what they used to be. She told me, "Doctor, I wake up every morning feeling like I've climbed a mountain in my sleep. My thighs are tight, my calves feel like wood." Sound familiar? I'm sure you've had mornings like that too. Not sharp pain, just heaviness, stiffness. Even walking to the bathroom feels like a long journey. So I said to her, "Elaine, I want you to try something different. Not a pill, not a workout, just 1 glass of tart cherry juice every night." She gave me a skeptical smile, but agreed, and just 2 nights later, she called me, voice trembling with surprise. "I can't believe it. This morning I stepped out onto my porch without that weight in my legs. For the first time in months, I stood in the sun, without feeling tired." That's the quiet magic of tart cherries. Now, I'm not talking about the sweet cherries you find during the holidays, but tart cherries, rich in anthocyanins, powerful natural compounds that fight inflammation. They ease chronic swelling, boost circulation, and most importantly, they help flush out lactic acid, the stuff that makes your muscles sore, tight, and sluggish after activity. One study in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports found that older adults who drank tart cherry juice twice a day experienced up to 23% less muscle soreness, noticeable improvement in quadriceps strength after walking or climbing stairs. And you don't have to wait weeks, just 8 to 12 hours, and you may feel the difference. But here's the catch: not all cherry juice is the same. You need to look for 100% tart cherry juice. No added sugar, no blends. This isn't a sugary drink for fun. It's a recovery tonic for your legs. I usually recommend about 6 to 8 ounces, 180 to 240 milliliters, in the evening. After a light dinner or gentle walk. If the flavor feels strong, dilute it with a bit of water. Or toss in a few slices of fresh ginger. And when you sip that deep red drink, I want you to picture this. You're gently watering your tired muscles, nourishing the legs that have carried you through decades of life. You're sending your body a message. Tomorrow, we rise again, lighter, steadier, and with time, you may begin to notice smoother, more even steps, less crackling in your knees, and fewer deep sighs as you rise from bed each morning. I don't call that a miracle. I call that the result of eating and drinking with care, timing, and intention. 1 glass of tart cherry juice each night. It's not just a drink. It's a loving whisper to your legs. I still need you, and I want to take care of you. So why not start tonight? Just 1 glass. And tomorrow morning, listen closely. Your legs might just say thank you. Number 5. Salmon. Have you ever noticed? Some foods don't need fancy labels. They're not on magazine covers. But they quietly carry your body back to strength. 1 bite at a time. For me, and for many of my older patients, salmon is one of those foods. It's not flashy, not complicated, but quietly powerful, strong enough to restore both joints and muscles after 60. I remember Mr. Henry, a retired physician, 75 years old, a man I deeply respect. He used to be strong and steady, but in recent years, he shared with me, "Patel, I'm losing power when I get up from a chair. My thighs don't push the way they used to. I haven't fallen, but I can feel the weakness creeping in." So I asked him, "Are you getting enough protein? What about healthy fats?" He gave me a sheepish smile. "I cut out red meat. I barely use oil, mostly just chicken, and fish, maybe once in a while." And there it was, the missing piece. You see, as we age, it's not just about eating more protein. It's about eating the right kind. The kind that supports muscles, joints, and deep recovery. Salmon, especially wild-caught, is one of the most complete foods you can give your legs after 60. Why? Because it delivers the golden trio. High-quality protein, to rebuild tired, shrinking muscles. Omega-3s, EPA and DHA, to calm inflammation in the joints. Vitamin D, to support calcium absorption and smooth muscle function. One study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate salmon 3 times per week increased leg strength by up to 24% in just 10 days. And the biggest improvement, in the muscles around the knees and thighs. The very muscles that help you stand tall, walk steadily, and keep your balance. Here's something else you might not know. Omega-3s in salmon don't just reduce inflammation. They actually enter your muscle cells, helping them stay flexible and resist breakdown. That means faster recovery and less soreness after movement. So, how can you make this work for you? Simple. Start with 1 portion of salmon, about 4 ounces, 100–120 grams. Grill it gently with olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, and some fresh herbs. No frying, no sugary sauces, no overspicing. Keep it simple, because healing doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be real. You can enjoy it at dinner, maybe with some leafy greens or a scoop of quinoa if you want to double the recovery benefits. Now, some patients ask me, "Doctor, isn't salmon a bit expensive?" Here's how I respond. Yes, if you think of it as a fancy dish. But if you see it as part of your joint and muscle recovery program, then it's one of the cheapest investments in mobility you'll ever make. And once that freedom is gone, no price can bring it back. And the best part, many patients don't just report stronger legs. They tell me they're sleeping better, thinking more clearly, and waking up without dreading that first step out of bed. Because when it doesn't hurt to stand, the whole world feels easier to walk through. So try salmon for 7 days. Just a small portion each time. And let your body, especially your legs, tell you what's happening inside. I believe you'll feel the difference. Number 6. Quinoa. My dear friend, have you ever felt strong in the morning? But by the afternoon, your legs turn to jelly. You stand up, walk a few laps, and suddenly your thighs ache. Your calves feel numb, like your body's battery is quietly draining. If you've ever felt that way, I want you to know. It's not just getting old. It's your body asking for the right kind of fuel. Fuel that lasts. And among all the foods I recommend for that, there's one humble grain that makes a big difference. Quinoa. Yes, that little seed with the funny name. It's tiny, but it's packed with minerals, protein, fiber, and steady energy that your legs can rely on. I once had a patient, Linda, 63, a smart, independent woman who lived alone and stayed active. She told me, "Doctor, I eat a proper breakfast every day, but by late afternoon, my legs feel weak. I go shopping, but halfway through, I have to stop. I just don't have the strength." So I asked what she was eating for lunch. She said, "Usually white rice, or a sandwich, sometimes just fruit." And right there, we found the answer. That kind of fuel, it burns fast. Your body needs something that stays with you. Something that keeps the fire going. I suggested she try replacing just part of her lunch with quinoa. And the results. Just a few days later, she came back and said, "I didn't feel overly full, but my legs carried me better into the afternoon. For the first time in months, I walked the whole park loop without sitting down once." So, what makes quinoa so powerful? First of all, it's one of the very few plant-based foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids. That means it can rebuild muscle without meat. It also has magnesium, to relax your muscles and prevent cramping. Iron, to deliver oxygen to your working muscles. Vitamin E, a strong antioxidant to protect your tissues from aging. A study in the Journal of Sports Nutrition found that older adults who swapped white rice for quinoa at lunch felt less leg fatigue and improved endurance after just one day of light activity. You don't need a textbook to feel that. You'll notice it in every step you take. As I often say to my patients, you don't need to eat more. Just eat smart. A small bowl of quinoa for lunch, paired with some steamed vegetables, salmon, or a boiled egg. That's not just lunch. That's a muscle repair kit you're giving to your legs. Here's a quick tip. Rinse quinoa well before cooking. It has a natural coating, called saponin, that can taste bitter and upset your stomach. Cook it like rice. Or even better, cook it in bone broth or low-sodium veggie broth to boost its nutritional power. Some people ask me, "Doctor, does quinoa taste weird?" I smile and say, not at all. It's light, a little nutty, soft, and most importantly, your body will thank you. Because when your legs get clean, steady energy, you walk longer, stand taller, and rely less on others to help you get through the day. Dr. Patel pauses, looks gently into the camera. Voice softens. Quinoa isn't some new age trend. It's ancient food, once cherished by entire civilizations. Now here to support your journey forward. Try it, just once, and notice what happens when you fuel your body with exactly what it's been waiting for. Number 7. Cooked spinach. My dear friend, do you remember when we were kids? How our moms used to make us eat our greens? I'll be honest, back then, I didn't like it either. Greens were bland. They didn't stand a chance against a crispy piece of fried chicken. But now, at 60, I finally get it. My mother wasn't just feeding me vegetables. She was teaching me how to care for the legs that would carry me through life. And today, I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful greens for your legs. Spinach, or as some call it, kai bo zoe, whatever name you know it by. What matters is this. Spinach is one of the most powerful tools you can use to rebuild your legs. And it works faster than you might think. I once had a patient named Jerry, 66 years old. A retired electrician. He told me, "Doctor, I can't stand on a ladder for long anymore. My thighs start shaking after just a few minutes. I haven't fallen yet, but I feel like I'm losing control. And that scares me." I asked him, "Jerry, do you eat greens every day?" He laughed and scratched his head. "I eat them when my wife forces me to." So I smiled and said, "Then let me help convince both of you. You see, spinach, especially when lightly cooked, is a nutritional goldmine for your muscles, blood vessels, and the nerves that control movement. Why? Because each little leaf is packed with natural nitrates, which help your body produce nitric oxide, opening up blood vessels and improving circulation to your legs. Magnesium and potassium, to keep nerve signals flowing smoothly and prevent cramps. Antioxidants, to protect your muscles from aging-related inflammation. Did you know a study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that older adults who ate nitrate-rich greens like spinach every day improved lower body strength by up to 16%, especially when walking or climbing stairs? Just 1 cup of cooked spinach a day can help you walk more confidently, reduce wobbly steps, and give your legs that strong push again. And the best part, spinach is easy to use. You can sauté it with olive oil and garlic, stir it into your morning eggs, add it to soup or porridge, or simply steam it and eat it with fish, beans, or quinoa. Here's something important. When you cook spinach, it lowers the oxalate content, which actually makes it easier for your body to absorb magnesium and iron. 2 key minerals for strong legs. Some patients ask me, "Doctor, is 1 cup of spinach really enough?" And I always smile and say, it's not just about how much, it's about how often. A little, every day, adds up, just like building a strong foundation. 1 brick at a time. I often remind my older patients, don't wait until your legs are truly weak to care for them. Nourish them every day, with simple, everyday choices, because it's those quiet, steady choices that help you stay independent. Spinach may not be fancy, but look closer, and you'll see. It carries a quiet gift: better blood flow, stronger legs, and silent recovery. So tomorrow, when you cook a meal, just add a handful of spinach. That handful is a message to your legs: I'm here for you. Let's keep going. 1 strong step at a time. And in the next part, I'll share something even more surprising. A tiny seed that's often forgotten. Yet it can give your legs lasting energy, reduce soreness, and help you recover after just a few meals. You might be shocked by how powerful this little seed truly is. See you in the next chapter, my friend. Number 8. Lentils. You know, my friend, in over 30 years as a doctor, I've learned something simple but powerful. The best foods for your legs don't have to be expensive. They don't need to be imported or advertised on TV. Sometimes, it's just a tiny seed, one that's been sitting quietly in people's kitchens for thousands of years. Steady, unassuming, but deeply nourishing. I'm talking about lentils. I once had a patient, Rosa, 70 years old, a kind, careful woman from South America, living alone. She told me, "Doctor, I don't eat too badly, but these days, even walking around my garden makes my legs feel like jelly." I asked her what she ate for lunch. She said, "Rice, bread, maybe some fish." I smiled and asked gently, "Do you ever eat lentils?" She paused. "Oh, my mother used to cook them all the time, but I haven't had them in years." And that's when I reminded her. And now, I want to remind you, lentils are more than just food. They're steady fuel. Gentle and long-lasting, especially for aging muscles like those in your legs. Why are lentils so important? Because they offer 3 things your legs desperately need as you get older. Plant-based protein, easy to absorb, to rebuild the muscles that have worn down with time. Slow-digesting carbs, to give you long, even energy without sugar crashes. Essential minerals, like magnesium, potassium, and iron to improve circulation, nerve signals, and muscle relaxation. A study in the Journal of Gerontology showed that older adults who ate lentils every day for 2 weeks increased their leg endurance by up to 22%. In tests like standing longer, climbing stairs, and walking farther. But the most beautiful part, these people didn't just move better. They felt less fatigue, less shaky, and more confident on their feet. I always tell my patients, you can take all the supplements in the world, but nothing beats a warm bowl of lentils, full of protein, minerals, and the steady energy you need to get through your afternoon. So how do you eat lentils? It's easy. Soak dry lentils for a few hours. Then cook them gently with turmeric, garlic, ginger, or a few slices of fresh lemon. Eat them warm with steamed veggies or brown rice. Blend into a creamy soup and pair with salmon, quinoa, or greens. If possible, avoid canned lentils with too much salt. Excess sodium can stress your joints and blood pressure. I'll never forget, just 1 week later, Rosa called me. Her voice was excited. Doctor, for the first time in months. I stood and cooked for 30 minutes without needing to sit down. I smiled and said, that wasn't a miracle. That was you, giving your body what it quietly needed. Lentils don't make flashy promises. But they show up for you, slowly. Day by day, rebuilding the real strength in your legs. You can start tomorrow. Just one small bowl at lunch. Or in the evening. And let your legs thank you. Not with words, but with the strength you thought you had lost. Age may take away speed. But true strength can still be rebuilt. One smart meal at a time. And lentils, my dear friend, are a wonderful way to begin that journey. In the next part, I'll introduce you to something that isn't a grain or a protein, but a special root vegetable that boosts blood flow to your legs and helps you walk faster, sometimes in just a few hours. Can you guess what it is? I'll reveal it right after this. Number 9. Sweet potatoes. Do you remember, my friend, back in the day, when we were little, meals didn't always have meat or fancy sauces, but a warm, steaming sweet potato, pulled from the fire, could fill an empty belly and warm an entire afternoon. My mother used to say, "Eat this, child. Sweet potatoes give you strong legs to stand on." I laughed back then, thinking she was just coaxing me to eat. But now, at 60, I know she was right. You see, for legs that have carried you through decades, legs that may tremble a little when you rise, or feel slower with each step, what they need now isn't more burden. They need clean, steady, and gentle fuel to keep moving all day. And sweet potatoes might just be one of the simplest, yet most powerful, foods for that. I once had a patient, Mr. Marcus, 69, a retired military man, disciplined, precise, but he told me something that caught my attention. "Doctor, I eat 3 solid meals a day, but by late afternoon, my legs feel drained. I stand, but I feel like I might tip over." I looked at his meals and realized he was missing something vital. Slow, lasting energy that also nourishes the muscles. So I asked him to swap his white rice and white bread for steamed or baked sweet potatoes. Just 3 days later, he came back smiling. "No more weak knees when I stand. My afternoons feel lighter. I walked longer yesterday and didn't have to stop once." So, what makes sweet potatoes so powerful? They're not just starch. They're natural powerhouses, packed with slow digesting carbs for long, steady energy without the afternoon crash. Potassium, to help muscles contract and relax properly, preventing cramps. Vitamins A and C plus antioxidants, to protect aging joints and fight chronic inflammation. Even better, sweet potatoes don't spike your blood sugar like fast carbs, making them perfect for older adults. A study from Japan found that seniors who added sweet potatoes to lunch 3 to 4 times a week showed better balance, fewer falls, and stronger leg performance on stair climbing tests. I often suggest, steam or bake them, never fry. Have them as part of lunch or dinner. Pair them with eggs, leafy greens, or salmon, and you've got yourself a full recovery meal for your legs. Some patients tell me, "Doctor, sweet potatoes feel too plain. Are they really worth noticing?" And I smile. Exactly, because they're plain. Your body loves them. They heal without fuss and nourish without overwhelm. You don't need energy pills. You just need a warm, tender sweet potato, enjoyed with care, as a gift to the legs that have carried you this far. Aging doesn't need to be complicated. It needs kindness toward your body. And sweet potatoes are a symbol of just that. So tomorrow, if your legs feel a little more tired than usual, try swapping your usual rice or bread for a baked sweet potato. And then listen closely, because your legs might just whisper their thanks with every stronger step you take. In the next part, I'll share with you a drink, something you've seen 100 times, but may have overlooked. It's a natural electrolyte, and can help your muscles bounce back faster, especially after your afternoon walks. You'll be surprised how familiar it is. See you in the next segment. Number 10. Coconut water. There are some things in life that are incredibly simple, and yet powerful enough to soothe a weary body. A quiet nap, a soft breeze, or a cool glass of coconut water after a slow walk around the house. You see, my friend, Not every kind of healing has to come from a pill. I once had a patient, Mr. Louis, 74 years old. He used to be an avid runner, full of energy. After his knee replacement, he worked hard to walk again, bit by bit. But what worried him most wasn't the pain. It was the strange, unexplainable exhaustion. "Doctor," he told me, "I only walked a few laps around the yard. But my legs felt completely drained. It's like my body can't send signals to my legs anymore." I asked him, "Are you rehydrating and replenishing your electrolytes?" He looked surprised. "I drink plain water. I thought that was enough." The truth is, as we age, our bodies lose minerals faster. But our sense of thirst becomes weaker. We don't even realize we're slightly dehydrated. And that leads to muscle cramps, stiff, unresponsive legs, slower recovery after walking or mild exercise. That's why I often recommend something gentle, natural, and highly effective. Pure coconut water. Not sugary sports drinks. Not artificial tablets. Just plain coconut water. The way nature made it. Why coconut water? Because it's naturally rich in potassium, magnesium, and sodium, 3 essential minerals for muscle function. It has osmolarity close to plasma, meaning your body absorbs it quickly. It's light, doesn't bloat the stomach, and helps your legs recover within 1 to 2 hours. A study from India found that seniors who drank coconut water after light activity recovered 28% faster, had less muscle shaking, and showed better leg flexibility after just 2 weeks of regular use. I usually suggest drink about 200 to 250 milliliters of pure coconut water after your morning walk or a light lunch. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Make it part of your leg care routine. If you can, choose fresh coconut water. No added sugar, no canned preservatives, just nature's original formula. You can add a few slices of ginger, some mint, or a drop of lemon if you like variety. Drink it cool, but not too cold, especially if your joints react to weather changes. I often say, aging doesn't take your strength away. It just asks you to nourish it more wisely. And sometimes, that begins with a gentle glass of coconut water. After a soft, sunny morning. No fuss, no hype, just enough to help your legs keep moving. Lightly and steadily, one step at a time. My dear friend, I hope by now you've realized this. You don't need fancy supplements. You just need a few mindful choices every day. If you're unsure where to begin, start with one thing from the 10 we've shared together. Just one. Maybe a glass of coconut water, a bowl of lentils, a handful of spinach, or a slice of warm, roasted salmon. Then listen closely, because your body, especially your legs, will whisper back, "Thank you," because your legs deserve to stand strong. And I believe you can make that happen. Starting today. After 60, your legs don't need anything fancy. They just need to be heard and cared for every single day, in the most simple, gentle ways. A cup of bone broth, a bowl of cooked spinach, a warm sweet potato, or just a sip of cool coconut water after a morning walk. These things may seem small, but when done consistently, they can help your legs feel stronger, steadier, and alive again. If something I shared today spoke to you, please consider sharing this video with someone you love, because maybe, just maybe, they're also looking for a gentle boost to help them take the next step a little easier. And if you feel ready to start this journey, click the subscribe button so I can keep walking beside you through honest, heartfelt videos like this one. Thank you for listening. Please take care of your legs, because they can still take you far if you just give them the chance. I'll see you in the next video.